Radio the Hotties, the best and hottest Indian radio network in the entire world.
My creations.
Proudly present Premier Evening Drive Time Show. Bam Bam!
Yes, you heard it right.
Bam Bam! Every
Monday,
Tuesday,
Wednesday,
Thursday,
Friday. Let's beat the traffic.
Bam Bam!
Bam bam. Namaskar.
Namaste.
Namaskara.
Vanan.
Ushamadin.
Assalamualaikum.
Satsiyakal.
మీకందరికి వందనము.
Jai Swaminarayan.
जय श्री कृष्ण.
Jai Jinendra.
हमारे स्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोलते हैं या अली मदद.
मोलाली बंदर बोलते हैं सारे फीजी बंदर को बोलेंगे नीसा अम्बला बनजन हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा मैं से फालतू बाबा.
And of course myself Faltu Rani लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time show that's going to make it totally exciting and totally mastani.
True that Bandajan, and yes, oh my god, what a roller coaster it was yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh my god, November 3rd was really memorable after the birthday of Altu Baba, of course, November 2nd.
Oh God.
What?
Oh God.
Good thing I was born November 2nd, not November 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have clashed so much and nobody would have focused on American birthday. Sorry, elections. Well, but American election was so huge, it eclipsed even the COVID-19. Now people don't even know what COVID-19 is. Now everybody's worried about
Oh God.
Trump 2021 they're worried about. It's Trump 21.
Oh God.
It's a lot. There's no cure to it. Trump 21.
Altu Baba.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? It was like I don't know how many of you were up late last night, Banjan. I was watching.
Yes. Nails are gone.
No, they're all fine. I was not biting my nails. I knew 100%.
Whatever.
I was just taking notes while I was
Everybody else
listening.
are biting their nails, huh? Nails.
Biden their nails, but but I knew that by Trump,
Oh yeah. Whatever.
pun
Well,
intended, will
this time
Trump-
around, I don't think Trump has a trump card.
Well, no, let's not speak too soon. The election is not over yet.
Well, but I'll tell you what is over. Definitely the night is over. That night is over. Actually was test out. Oh my God, what a drama it was. It actually makes to a wonderful Bollywood, I should say, movie.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
seriously, but I'm not kidding. Today, actually, I think we should recount what happened last night.
Actually, you know what? Bollywood will put the election. You know, people were like, I'll tell you why I didn't bite my nails.
Why?
We're kind of used to this drama.
Uh-huh.
अरे
Of course.
रोज भरा का ड्रामा है हर रोज तो मैं देखती हूँ एक सॉलिड नौटंकी पार्टी मेरे साथ हमेशा यहाँ पे हाजिर होता है
Of course.
टोटल नौटंकी है हर एक चीज में ड्रामा है आप
course.
यकीन नहीं मानोगे मेरा चेहरा देखो अंदर लोग मेरे से पूछे थे
Yes.
फालतू रानी तुम रो के आती हो क्या हाँ और नहीं तो क्या
रो के आती है बिकॉज उसका जो चाहना कर नहीं पाती ना इसलिए रोती है वो
एग्जैक्टली
all this because only ego which फालतू नहीं देखो भाई बिना people cry फालतू नहीं
ओके
because ego gets फालतू नहीं
make you feel better
Hey, definitely
Good.
does make you
It's
feel
okay.
better. But the point is, Faltwani, yesterday I saw you awake all the way until morning, the wee hours of the morning.
I'll tell you why Banajan because I wanted to catch up on it and it was entertaining for me.
If you want to catch
To
up, ask
keep
me. I have a
listening.
refrigerator already.
It's not catch up. I'm talking about catch up.
Catch up.
सुनने में भी spelling mistake नहीं करने का
Okay,
आलतू.
fine. I thought it was catch up. It's catch up, is it?
Whatever.
Tomato ketchup.
Yeah, it is this election. It's been like total drama, Banajan.
Of
Total
course, yes.
drama. And if you guys missed out, right?
Uh-huh.
Here's what Altu and myself were talking about. We said, okay, here's what we'll do.
Uh-huh.
Right, Altu? We should give our bandus a jhalak.
People actually slept through the whole thing because it was stressful. People don't actually, go about doing their tasks also because of things. So, in Bollywoodish style में
हाँ.
आज हम एक अकाउंट देंगे क्या हुआ कल का एपिसोड में पूरा कल का एपिसोड मतलब कल का what happened transpired. It was like a long evening for everybody out there including Democrats and Republicans. Point where they were toasting and then they were like roasting, right? That was happening. So we're going to give an account of this starting from 4 o'clock because 4 o'clock start hua the counting of all the votes because started off in the east coast it kind of moved all the way down towards the west coast, right? As you know, the last part was the west coast and even now for the matter some states have not yet released their total final count. That's still there. Now the thing was we were watching very closely what both the camps are doing. We were actually watching on their feeds also following up on multiple news channels to what exactly is happening, sentiments of people. So what we did was we kind of drafted down a kind of I should say a Bollywood account
Yeah.
of what exactly transpired to the whole thing.
अगर बॉलीवुड में इस इलेक्शन का कवरेज किया था गानों के जरिए या टोटल बॉलीवुड
गानों के साथ।
गानों के साथ
हाँ Kaisa hota?
Kaisa hota?
That is what we're going to talk about, Jam. Because let's do one thing.
Huh.
How did it start? 4 o'clock. First thing I got a message. One of our bandhus messaged me. She messaged me and said, "Oh my God, Trump got
Indiana."
Had like an exclamation and a fear. The first which came up and said, declared themselves as.
And it was like sad face.
Yeah, everybody's saying the thing. Like, and of course, that time you could see the spirit of the Trumpsters.
Huh.
The spirit of Trumpsters who actually are pretty much even now trolling on Facebook many times. All you guys. It was a very happy moment for you guys. Right? So there was a lot of josh in that camp. Yeah, and because Trump came in saying that he's going to win. Yeah, he was in that particular mood of winning. Very much like this.
That's right. And all the Trumpsters were out there saying, "Oh, red wave. I see red wave. And अगर इसको गाने किसी ने बोला जाए तो ये गाना background में बजता. And while the states lit up, Indiana,
red,
Kentucky,
red, Georgia, red.
South Carolina,
red.
Georgia, no.
Oh, sorry.
South Carolina,
red.
And we'll come to the other states.
Went on being red.
Ting.
जग्गा जित्ते ते मिलन बधाइयां जग्गा जित्ते ते मिलन बधाइयां जग्गा जित्ते ते मिलन बधाइयां के आया है फतेह करके सूरमा के माने है जन्मे की सूरमा
Really, everybody started calling him a surma. In fact, even now people call him a surma for some reason. Yeah, I saw some Facebook posts that way. Yeah. Sure, ma.
जग्गा लिख गया नई कहानी जग्गा लिख गया
रोके वो काफी रुके ना तू तो टोके वो काफी झुके जरा भी रुकेगी ना पर इनकलाबी मन है राजी डरना क्यों अब अपनी बारी मार ही लेंगे अब तो बाजी
जग्गा लिख गया नई कहानी जग्गा लिख गया मिलन बधाइयां जग्गा जित्ते बधाइयां के आया है फतेह करके सूरमा के माने है जन्मया एक सूरमा
And of course, Vidna Badajan, elections are pehle. You saw many mobilization of all the militia. Some guns actually went up in multiple places. Yeah, Badajan, I'm not kidding. All data. People were actually gearing up saying, "Oh my God, he's going to take over America." Yes, and all the stuff, right? Yeah. Militia rule. You never know, Badajan. We're still there.
जगे दा जोश तूफानी जगे नू चढ़ी जवानी ओ जग्गा सुन न किसी की के जग्गा कर मनमानी जगे दा जोश तूफानी जगे नू चढ़ी जवानी ओ जग्गा सुन न किसी की के जग्गा कर मनमानी जग्गा जित्ते ते मिलन बधाइयां जग्गा जित्ते
And as the states were coming up red, oh my God, you must have seen the faces of everybody out there who are actually Trumpsters. So happy, saying, "Oh my God, we already won the election."
Exactly.
But at the same time, there was also the camp of, Democrats.
And Democrats ka, oh my God, एक बेचारा state. एक state. He won first state, right? What did Biden, which was the first state that he won?
Wasn't that one of those small states like New York or whatever it is?
No, it wasn't New York. What? No, it wasn't New York.
It was one of those states.
No, Altubaba.
We are one of those East Coast states.
Yes, it was.
One of the East Coast states. I'm forgetting what the name.
One Piddly.
Piddly,
Yeah.
Piddly si baate. Well, but I'll tell you what. I can give you the thing right now. Because I remember yesterday's note. I made some notes yesterday. So here you go. This is what Trump actually won. I think he got Massachusetts first.
No.
Michigan. No. New Hampshire.
No.
He got Connecticut.
No.
He got New Jersey.
Was
Delaware.
No.
Was it Maryland?
Was Ohio? No.
Name all the states and say yes, no, yes.
Okay, I have to look at the map. Let me tell you which one
How
it was.
come you don't look at the map, Faltoni? How could you even talk with the map? It's an election report we're doing right now. Sentiments of the guy, right? I really think it was actually New York is what he got actually. It was correct.
No, it was before New York. It was a small little state that he won, and it was very, very. Was it Virginia?
No.
No, it wasn't Virginia. It was something else. where
Virginia
he
is a fairly big state.
He started to lead in Virginia, but
I thought with New Jersey what he got, man.
Vermont. He won Vermont.
Vermont. Yes, Vermont.
he
Somewhere
won
small
Vermont.
thing which is close to Canada, pretty
Yeah.
much. He
So-
won Vermont. Yes.
Yeah, he won Vermont, Bandajan, and that time it was like very, very, a sad state of affairs because he only had 3 electoral votes, and then Trump was like,
Yeah, and all the Democrats had only one song in their mind actually. No, I wouldn't say one song. Identical songs.
no,
but
a lot of
the
Democrats were
emotions,
scared, Altu Baba.
Yes, the emotions actually came up in one song. Faltu, because what happened was they were kind of losing this battle right now.
Huh.
Very premature, of course. If premature, all these people getting worked up, all this happens.
Huh.
So everybody got worked up. Oh my God, what's going to happen? And it's actually not only in somewhere in the East Coast, nationwide. Yahan pe, locally, Facebook pe, people are like, oh my God, what is happening and all stuff. And I got text messages.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine? Oh my
What
God,
text
Democrats.
message you got, Altu
Oh,
Baba?
Trump is leading. Oh, Biden, oh my God. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and everybody pinning the hopes on other states like, Florida. Florida, he must get, Florida gets Biden a chance.
Yeah.
People are talking that way.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
kidding.
know. People were very, very worried. Yeah, Bandhujan, seriously, I'm not kidding you. It was like to the extent that we started getting like, oh, I'm going to turn off the TV. I'm not going to do this, or I can't handle this pain.
I'm going to go and sleep.
Then yesterday we did a total election update, right?
Yeah,
And even though we played some of our bandhus, like, our darling bandhus, were like, okay, I can't take this anymore.
Stressing
It's very
for
stressed out. I'm getting very stressed out. I think I should just wake up and hopefully pray for, on tomorrow. Like, that's what we saw. And oh my God. Bandhus are getting very, very stressed out. This should not be the case.
Well, here's what happened. But faith in God actually became stronger because every Democrat had some emotion in their mind.
Yeah.
This song actually totally, summates the whole thing. And yes, Deepa, I got your message. No, why Biden Budwar? No. We're only giving the election update. We don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know if Biden is won. We are not going to call the election too soon.
Yeah. Or do we have to go, buy ourselves some gun? No? We'll see. We'll talk about it.
निर्गुण न्यारे तुम्हरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं हमरी उलझन सुलझाओ भगवन तुम्हरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं तुम्हें हमका हो संभाले तुम्हें हमरे रखवाले तुम्हरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं तुम्हें बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं तुम्हरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं
Bandhujan, nothing like turning to God to be able to see you through the hard times, right? And this was a time when everybody started praying and rallying. Things should work out for Biden. Slowly, numbers started to come in.
सूरज में उजाला तुम्हीं से ये गगन है मगन तुम्हें तो दिए हो ये सितारे भगवन ये जीवन तुम्हें न सवारोगे तो क्या कोई सवारे ओ पालनहारे निर्गुण न्यारे तुम्हारे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं तुम्हारे बिन हमरा कौन नहीं
And of course, Bandhujan, ऊपर वाला सबका सुनता है बंधुजन.
And वो भी A.R. रहमान ने जब म्यूजिक कंपोज किया है.
Well, that's the turning point actually. Suddenly things changed.
Yeah, things started to change.
And people are seeing that, there actually is a fighting chance for Democrats as well.
कहें प्रभु जी हमरी है बिनती दुखी जन को धीरज दो, हारे नहीं वो कभी दुख से, तुम निर्बल को रक्षा दो, रह पाए निर्बल सुख से, भक्ति को शक्ति दो, भक्ति को शक्ति दो। जग के जो स्वामी हो, इतनी तो अरज सुनो, है पथ में अंधियारे, दे दो वरदान में उजियारे, ओ पालनहारे निर्गुण और न्याय।
And this time, Badujan, I think it was like, well, I would say early part, like 7 o'clock or that's not like, I think it was like, no, 5 o'clock I suppose. No, o'clock in that way, midway of our show actually. Things started heating. So Biden got, suddenly, the Democrats got like, oh wow, Josh, because they got all the small states. Pretty much the coastline
he
of...
started getting along the coastline.
Along
He
the
got next
coastline.
Virginia, they were almost going to call Virginia.
Tuck. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, suddenly we start seeing the states come up and report.
Yeah, exactly.
It means red state was like, suddenly you had all the middle states. I'm talking about the states like,
We're talking about
not Kentucky. Actually, there was the Ohio,
Missouri,
Missouri,
Iowa,
and Arkansas,
Louisiana, all the typically red states.
Yeah,
that
Tennessee,
started,
all those
Tennessee,
people. They all started coming reporting, and Kentucky as well, by the way.
West Virginia.
West Virginia as well. West Virginia was the first people to actually who actually came in support of Trump. So this actually became like a tight neck-to-neck war suddenly. And if you look at it, Trump also was not giving up still. He was like, giving a fight. Right? Biden got a kind of a reprieve because of all those things, but suddenly, this is a time when things were getting heated up and wondering what's happening. They were going neck to neck. It suddenly seemed like as though Trump is leading.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember the thing we saw Trump was leading, but we knew that there actually was only 25% of the vote counted still.
Yeah, exactly.
So at the clock, we realized only 25% of the entire nation was counted. Yeah. And they were already saying that Trump is leading, and literally Trumpsters were gloating. I'm not kidding.
So we need to remember, Bunijan, this is because so many of the Trumpsters were showing up at the polls, and Florida, Trump started to take a lead.
Yeah.
So at this time, it was like, oh my God, pollsters had started to say that Joe Biden will win, although Biden said that they never banked on Florida.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, they never said that they banked on Florida. But pollsters started saying कि Florida में Biden का lag हो रहा है. He's not really winning. Blah blah blah. And Trump has appealed to the Latinx vote and all the Portons and the Venezuelans showing up for Trump over there.
So basically they were like, the neck-to-neck fight. Literally were fighting against each other. Right? Sentiment was such, till movie can be made of that.
Yes.
Trumpsters, Bideners.
Yeah.
They were like, really biting each other heads off. This is a time when the heat of the going on.
Yeah.
And Trump was like giving back, like, oh my God, we got this, we got that, and all stuff. Like literally, totally cheering for those things, right? The sentiment of that particular time can be described by this particular song for a movie called Josh.
Yes, Bidjan. And the whole Josh was, Trumpsters are saying, when I say Trumpsters, I'm talking about Trump supporters are saying, हम भी है जोश में.
हम भी है जोश में. बातें कर होश में.
Exactly. बातें कर होश में. Fox News.
हम भी है जोश में. बातें कर होश में. यूं ना आंखें दिखा. सैलरे क्या बोला फिर बोल रे. सैलरे क्या बोला फिर बोल रे.
हम भी हैं जोश में. बातें कर होश में. हम भी हैं जोश में. बातें कर होश में. यूं ना आंखें दिखा. सैलरे क्या बोला फिर बोल रे. सैलरे क्या बोला फिर बोल रे.
तेरे जैसे तेरा इरादा क्या है बता
जा रे यहाँ न आ रे न हमसे करना कोई खता
देखे है तेरे जैसे तेरा इरादा क्या है बता
चल रे यहाँ न आ रे न हमसे करना कोई खता
It was sentimental, actually, both the things. Actually, each of them didn't want to be in each other's midst. In fact, people keep it distance, literally. Nobody was talking to each other who were like Bidens and also. It was more like people who were Bideners talking to only Bideners and the Trumpsters talking to the Trumpsters because they didn't want to engage in conversation between each other.
Well, you know, the best part was the way even on Fox News, which I was watching, because you know people say that if it's a liberal media, they'll only give you the liberal version of it, right? But incidentally, CNN has been very conservative in their
And Fox was talking about Biden.
Yeah, Fox is calling every state for
Biden.
For Biden.
As in leading towards Biden.
Well, in fact, they called Arizona for Biden, but now again they've taken it back. They said no, it's not.
Oh.
Yeah, because Trump insisted, right? He's going to contest that.
Yeah.
And he got angry with Fox.
Wait, let's not move further in the story. Story में अभी क्या हो रहा था बल्कि झगड़ा हो रहा था.
हाँ, climax नहीं बोलने का ना.
6:30 तक तो high climax, as not climax, high conflict.
हाँ.
Both the parties fighting each other and each of them staying very quiet.
हाँ.
Because this is a time something happened.
हाँ.
Right?
Yeah.
Around 7 o'clock something happened.
Yeah.
What happened? Tell me.
About around 7 o'clock, we had getting news. Arizona is beginning to look favorable for
blue.
Is going to turn blue, and then it also had. Biden got a few more wins, right? He got New York, which was expected, Connecticut, New Hampshire. He started picking up small electoral votes here and there. Maine was still highly contested. And then we got Colorado, where they picked up their first flipping Democrat Senate seat.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only one that they flipped so
Wait,
far.
that was good because that changed the whole the demeanor of Democrats.
Yeah, the morale was boosted,
Suddenly-
Kanchan, because Hickenlooper sitting, the person who was it? Senator Cory, what was it? Cory Gardner, is it?
I don't know who it was, but of course,
Yeah.
but the point I'm making is this point in time, around 6:45ish before we actually close out the PAMPAM show, where Democrats thought, okay, there's a chance.
Yeah, Democrats
chance.
They started saying, okay, you know what, we're also getting some votes in, and it's not just going to be California that we're going to bank on, which is going to be 55 electoral votes. तो ये सब आने लग गया तो उनको लगा कि बार बार हाँ बोलो यार हाँ.
बार बार हाँ बोलो यार हाँ अपनी जीत हो उनकी हार हाँ बार बार हाँ बोलो यार हाँ अपनी जीत हो उनकी हार हाँ कोई हमसे जीत न पावे चले चलो चले जीत जावे जो टकरावे चले चलो भले घोर अंधेरा छावे चले चलो कोई राह में ना थम जावे चले चलो टूट गई जब उंगली उठी पांचों मिली तो गई मुट्ठी एका बढ़ता ही जावे चले चलो कोई कितना भी बहकावे चले चलो कोई हमसे जीत न पावे चले चलो मिट जावे जो टकरावे चले चलो
It looks like as though even now for the Madam why Ria right now is standing. Joe Biden and Trump.
Huh.
Joe Biden is kind of getting there.
Huh.
The votes are not completed. The counting is not completed. But he is at 264
Yeah.
electoral votes right now. They require 270 for a majority, as in to be declared as the president.
Yeah.
And Trump is 214. Now,
Yeah.
if you look at it, right, the Nevada is not disclosed as yet.
Nevada hasn't been called.
Called
Neither
hasn't been
has.
called.
In
Alaska
fact,
has not been called.
Yeah.
Georgia is still in question mark.
Yeah.
In spite of having 98% already reported, right? But it's a very close race. It's a 0.8%. So that's why they will not call it.
called Michigan either.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to give you a very interesting thing, Falbani.
Huh.
If all these votes are counted for Biden, for Trump,
Yeah.
and only Nevada stays with Biden, Trump actually is already a foot into the White House.
Trump or Biden?
Sorry, Biden. Biden only is a foot in the White
Yeah,
House.
no, well, in Nevada, he'll get, let's say, electoral votes
He's
from Nevada.
270 already there.
Yeah,
But now, if Trump gets
but that's
all...
assuming Arizona is given to him, right? Or
No.
That's assuming Michigan goes
Arizona
to
already is
him.
given to him. Arizona is called for him, actually.
Wow.
He led by percent.
That's true, that's true.
Trump was 47, so almost like 3 or 4 percentage points.
Yeah, okay.
So Arizona already got it. He got 11 electoral votes from there already.
Right.
And abhi to kya hai? The thing is, if Trump gets all the other so-called red states, Alaska, Georgia, North Carolina, and also Pennsylvania, if he gets all 3 of them,
Yeah.
it won't add up to the number he's supposed to get, 270.
Correct.
Now that's something you got to think about. But no, okay, no, let's wait till the end. I think we should wait for all the counting to be done.
Yeah.
Give a chance for all the mail-in ballots who came, so people who are walked in, or what do they call it, right? The counting, let it happen.
Exactly.
Let democracy take its,
Of course, yeah.
yeah, give it some time. But this time and yesterday, around this time, 6:45, there was 1 hour, of course.
5:45.
No, 6:45.
Yeah.
6:45 people actually were, the back camp was already saying, oh my God, there's a chance we can win this.
That's around 9:45 in the night. No, they're still in the race.
They are still in the race.
Correct.
चला ही चल हाँप नहीं काँप नहीं राह में उड़ाही थकन का साब नहीं अब तुझे डसने पाए
वही जो तेरा हाकिम है जालिम है की है जिसने तबाही घर उसका पश्चिम है यहाँ न बसने पाए
धरती देंगे सबको दिखा देंगे ना जाए क्या पर जाए क्या हम जग पे छाएंगे अब ये पाएंगे हम लोगों का दर्जा है क्या जो होना है हो जाए चले चलो अब सर ना कोई झुकावे चले चलो कोई हमसे जीत न पावे चले चलो गावे जो टकरावे चले चलो बार हाँ टूट गई जो बोलो यार हाँ उंगली उठी अपनी जीत हो उनकी हार हाँ बन गई मुट्ठी
And of course, this happy moment for Democrats actually was going on.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that, Trump was left behind.
Yep.
That time.
Hum bhi hai josh mein.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying.
Well, he was saying that, but what actually let's describe the particular Trumpsters, right?
Yeah,
Because
well-
what happens in the middle state, the mid started coming and came in.
Yes.
The middle America, as you know, Bachchan, always has been a red kind of a
Yeah.
thing. So say a wave, that's where the wave starts, I suppose.
Actually, that's the time that Kentucky came in. Rich
Yeah.
McConnell won.
Uh-huh.
Over Amy McGrath.
Yeah.
Although it was a tightly contested race.
And Kentucky got called, right?
Yeah, Kentucky got called.
Yeah.
And then...
So basically, Trump's crew won. They
all
got
the senators who were on sort of like people were worried and they're like, oh, we got him out.
Yeah.
Retaining their seats. Lindsey Graham won over Jaime Harrison. Who else was it? Oh, the QAnon lady. She got
a congressional seat.
Yeah, the person who's the conspiracy theorist originator of the fact that there's a character called Q, and that character called Q is actually John F. Kennedy Jr., and that he's still alive, and he's using Trump, channeling his energy to Trump to make Trump do all this for us, and that the rest of the world, like, the Clintons, the Obamas are all, that's a whole pedophile gang.
What?
And these people, yeah.
Oh my God.
She's a very, what do you call, polarizing, racist lady. I mean, hardcore supremacist.
Uh-huh.
And that lady, Marjorie, I forgot what her name was, man. Marjorie,
She
talked
belonged
about it
she
yesterday.
belonged to one of those states, right? Which totally is...
Georgia.
Yeah, but Georgia is still up for a thing though.
She congressional Punjaban. She won a congressional seat. She got elected to the House of Reps, and then slowly, back. These guys already, one little thing they'll make a big deal of it. So ये जो लोग Trump वाले camp वाले लोग थे कि ये शुरू हो गया कि oh yeah, we've got this, we've got our Senate, we're going to hold on to the Senate, and then we're getting incidentally they've actually flipped Republicans.
Marjorie Green, right? Her name is
Marjorie Green, and then they had the youngest congressman, Madison. What's his name?
He was in the where was he? I forget. He was also a Republican.
He's from Florida, right? Madison. The youngest congressman to ever, 25-year-old guy.
Yeah, not Akosha. AOC actually is 26, something like that. So somebody younger than her also coming up into the Congress right now. So probably next elections will be like after 8 years.
Madison Cawthorn.
Cawthorn, yeah.
Madison Cawthorn from North Carolina got elected as the youngest Republican. It's like the changing. He says right now, look at the Republican Party. This is how it's going to be like.
So Trump has actually got one more.
Yeah, they got more and more Josh.
Around o'clock, this is around 7 o'clock. As we're wrapping up our show, all this is happening. I'm giving you more account of what happened on our show and also what happened about outside the show. And by this time, the race was like, neck to neck. Okay? Yahan pe thoda Trump leads, Biden leads, Trump leads, Biden leads, like that kind of a thing. But it's certain decisive moments today. That's what they're accounting for. And look at the thing. This particular thing when it happened, when all Mitch McConnell and all those people, all the cronies of Trump started winning and all stuff, right?
Yeah.
There was a commotion in the Trumpsters camp. And that emotion can be best described by a song.
Trumpster camp?
Uh-huh.
What was that?
There's a nice song which actually describes the emotion.
And this was what? This was just before the big state came in, or was it after?
No, around that time, the state came in. These guys gotten voted.
29 electoral votes.
Yes.
Came in from a state that they said that the Democrats would appeal to the Latin vote, but didn't. In fact, Trump appealed to the Latinx community there. The Cubans came through for him, and even in Miami, and the Venezuelans came through for him.
Yeah.
Florida did yet again. And it was like, whoa, mama, yeah, mama, quiero mama.
Yeah, no quiero mama for anybody else, only for ourselves, what they said. And of course, all Trumpsters were rejoicing.
Yeah.
Literally were fun. They were like, chasing around people who are non-Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, chasing them around all around the place, around stadiums, along roads.
Back on Facebook.
Yeah.
Red wave.
Red wave.
Red wave.
Oh,
Red
Trump,
wave.
yeah. Appreciate your resilience, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly what they did. They started going and toting the guns everywhere. So these Republicans are here right now. And the Trump army is mobilizing everywhere. All the stuff, all the rumors started coming up, Brajan. In fact, this time is when, we also got some really disturbing tweets afterwards. After we close out the show, many things happened, Brajan. I'll tell you. It became a disturbing thing because...
Being big!
Yeah, is what he said.
Yeah.
बस जब दुश्मन को ये बता दो दुश्मन ये क्या, लेकिन यार we are the same country. Why all the, why all the anger? Why all those things?
लेकिन वो है आल्तू बाबा की दुश्मनी है कि तुम लोग हमारे प्रेसिडेंट को कैसे उससे कैसे पंगे ले सकते हो. हाँ.
वो भी है. Well, I don't think that was the case. I think it was more like, he's like a supreme leader. People actually want leaders to follow. Mama, kero, mama. And of course, but it's exactly what's happening that time. Around 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Wow. That's true, Banjan. And at that time, it was again, there's a lot of, the West Coast had still not closed.
Yeah.
Polls, so nothing was reported from here.
But
Obviously,
actually,
because people were still listening to PAM and driving to the election.
Correct.
To the poll booths. And
By the way, polls are not closed. The polling stations were not closed in California. 8 o'clock tak chal raha tha. But the general morale of all the Biden supporters,
Kya?
kind of down.
Yeah. Let me tell you, Facebook tweets, oh, this is so depressing. I'm going to turn off all the TV and radio and everything and I'm going to go lie down. This, I'm not kidding, Bandhujan. Seriously, Bandhus did this. And then somebody else said, oh, I had brought out the champagne to celebrate. Now I'm just going to drink wine and go to bed. What? Seriously, people were almost giving up. People are like, what is going on? Why is this, how is it that Trump is getting so many states to turn red? What people were not realizing was the electoral vote there in those states are not necessarily reflective of the number of people in those states, right? ये हो रहा था और बाइडेन कैंप का जो मोराल था कि अरे हमने भी वोट किया है लेकिन हमारे वोट का कोई मायने नहीं है कि यहाँ पे तो पॉपुलर वोट नहीं जीतता है, यहाँ पे तो इलेक्टोरल वोट जीता है एंड मेरे हाथ में कुछ भी नहीं है. ऐसे लग रहा था लोगों को. और लेकिन कुछ ऐसे लोग थे, हम लोग भी थे, जो कह रहे थे कि अरे यार रखो, ठंड रखो, क्योंकि ये हौसला.
This is when Biden came out and made a speech, Banhujan.
No, he didn't make a speech at this time.
Oh, really?
No.
What time the speech comes afterwards?
Afterwards.
Okay, but the speech comes afterwards. But right now, this is what actually we're telling people everywhere. Don't give up hope. Right?
This was the time when people were like really tense.
Yes.
They were not sure how things are going to pan out.
Yeah.
वो होता है ना, the ups and downs of the night.
Yeah.
बहुत सारे लोग पोस्ट कर रहे थे कि यहाँ पे 236 लिखा है, नहीं 130 लिखा है, यहाँ पे ये लिखा है.
What do we trust?
Yeah.
Who do we trust?
Yeah. Is Arizona called or not?
Yeah.
What's going on?
but now this time we actually had articles coming out on newspapers and everything talking about whether the next day, that is the morning which we're going to see, is it going to be a dawn or the new on? But everybody kind of needed some hostla afzai from, and we were trying to give it as much as possible. We tried to spread positivity on Facebook and realized Facebook can never have positivity in it. So I gave up. I gave up actually talking to people on Facebook. I told them, okay, relax, yaar. Whatever happens, happens. Eat a nice dinner, I go back to sleep. Right? Militia takes over, let's see what happens. Right? I'm sure people are there. America is blessed with actually a system which actually will correct itself. Eventually, it will correct itself. We made mistakes, right? So Trump, nicely, when he came to power, 26, showed out one of the vulnerabilities of our democracy, right? And he cashed on it. Fine. But then again, the people will come back, right? It will fix itself. And that's the way our founding fathers, you got to give a lot of credit to them because they put in some checks and balances.
Right.
But unfortunately, even that was, should I say, to put it in Nancy Pelosi's own words, illegitimately, played with. By putting in justices into the system when it was not required to be put in. Election year, generally don't put Supreme Court. That's not the norm. Norm at all.
They rammed it in, right?
Election year, you don't actually appoint a justice, Supreme Court justice in the election year. It's always given to the next party who comes up in the office, ideally. But Trump knew he's going to lose. Now, this is what I want to tell you, Baljan. He knows that he's going to lose, but still, that's why he's doing all this stuff.
Right, absolutely.
When you know that you're going to lose, you can't have a fight where you're going to win.
Right, exactly.
So, had he being gracious and say, okay, no, I'll wait for the election, then we'll do it, then probably confidence in Trump would have increased.
Yeah.
But many people actually detracted from Trump. That's why we had 1 or 2 seats flip from one of the states. And right?
At that point, because was Arizona a battlegrounds that typically would have gone to Trump, but did it, this time was going to be a flipped state, and there was news that was coming in that Biden is in the lead. Is that what it is?
Yeah, but right now, Baja, we'll talk more about this after a break. We're getting into a break right now, but see you right after this. You are listening to Radio D Hotties, powered by Mahima Creations. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this show do not necessarily refer to the staff or management of Radio D. The content broadcast on this show is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only.
Radio D Hotties, the best and hottest Indian radio network in the entire world.
Mahima Creations
Proudly present Premier Evening Drive Time Show. Bam Bam!
Yes, you heard it right.
Bam Bam! Every
Monday,
Tuesday,
Wednesday,
Thursday,
Friday. Let's beat the traffic.
Bye-bye. Namaskar.
Namaste.
Namaskara.
Vanakkam.
Khush Amadid.
Assalamualaikum.
Sat Sri Akal.
మీకందరికి వందనము.
Jai Swami Narayan.
जय श्री कृष्ण.
Jai Janendra.
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को या अली मदद.
मोर अली मदद बोलते हैं सारे फीजी मन बोले कि नीसा बुला बदजान हम आगे आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारे मैं से फालतू बाबा.
And of course myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और totally हटके वाला शो इन मस्तानी पर जा रहे.
Yes, Panajan, we're giving you an update of what's happening around what happened last night with the elections.
yes.
In a very Bollywoodish style. So, understand how it went by, how it transpired. Right?
Right.
It's very interesting, Panajan. In fact, I'll tell you the whole story of the elections, right? It can be summated like a movie.
Yeah.
अभी तक climax नहीं हुआ इसका.
नहीं
They
नहीं
have
अभी
come-
build-up हो रहा है यार.
Build up हो रहा है, अभी build up हो रहा है. And let's see what happens because के बाद में there's going to be part 2. Because we already got news about the fact that some lawsuits already filed in terms of and why they actually had to recount everything. So Trump has done what he said he's
They
going to do.
haven't done recount. It's still not all the votes have been counted. Trump has filed preemptively. He has filed suit everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere he's got money, right? Taxpayer money, not people's
But
money.
the thing is, is the Republican Party so ridiculously? That's the debate that I was listening to, where Rick Santorum, right, once Republican presidential candidate, he was. They asked him, "What, can you tell us? Are you really going to back this?" Because okay, we're going to come to that. We haven't that yet, right?
No, we haven't come to that
we'll
yet.
talk to
Because
that.
actually what happened was after Biden's speech, you said Biden spoke, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell people when he spoke?
No, before Biden spoke, right? Suddenly, what started happening was this. आने लग गया Banajan. People started to get worried because now the West Coast states had started in, and it was a slam dunk in terms of California. He would anyway get that electoral vote. Knew 100% that was going to happen. And then Arizona if Arizona was going to be Fox News kept calling it for Trump, and they said yes, and you will not believe the Fox News hosts really bulldozed their own analysts. Bulldozed. I'm not kidding you, Bajan. And I specifically I was flipping between Fox News Hour with Judy Woodruff, and then CNN. I was like going channel to channel to channel to see what each one is talking about.
Yeah, she doesn't have a life. No.
Yeah? No, but
People had a bad question, I answered it.
yeah. So what happened? What? No. So then they were bulldozing this guy, saying, "How can you call it? How can you call it?" He's like, "I'm pretty certain that this is what it is, and it's going to be this is the way it's going to go." And then Trump camp, which was celebrating till then, like suddenly started saying, "What?
What happened?
What's happening?" It's like suddenly they started like the other votes started coming in now, and Biden is consistently maintaining his lead.
Yes. So what the Trumpsters camp was actually saying was
Yeah.
this. It can go perfectly, well with this particular song.
Yeah.
क्या हुआ कैसे हुआ कब हुआ अब क्या सुनाए क्या हुआ कैसे हुआ कब हुआ क्यों हुआ जब हुआ तब हुआ ओ छोड़ो ये न सोचो ये क्या हुआ कैसे हुआ कब हुआ क्यों हुआ जब हुआ तब हुआ ओ छोड़ो ये न सोचो ये क्या हुआ
Well, Bajan, this time things are looking very grim for the Republican Party.
Yeah.
In fact, they were losing out. Biden took a lead with electoral votes, of course.
हम क्यों शिकवा करे झूठा क्या हुआ जो दिल टूटा हम
Ilhan Omar won re-election by a landslide.
Yes.
शिकवा करे झूठा
And as per Trump's thing, he called the women the squad.
The four women.
The four women, the squad, they all got re-elected by this time.
कुछ न
In their respective constituencies, of course.
हुआ ये क्या हुआ कैसे हुआ
The first African American congressional representative from the state of Missouri, Cori Bush, was elected into the House and joins the squad.
छोड़ो ये न सोचो ये क्या हुआ समझे ना
Well, if you guys are wondering who the squad is, well, we would give them a description. So Corey joined the squad.
Yeah.
AOC was definitely in the squad.
Yeah.
And then there's Ilhar Omar was there in the squad. And one more person, right?
Talib,
Rashida Tlaib, yes.
Ayanna Presley.
Yes, all these people were supposed to be in the squad. Hey, this squad day was given by Trump, okay?
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
था सुना था क्या बताएं वो क्या था सपना सलोना था तुम तो होना था हुआ क्या हुआ कैसे हुआ कब हुआ क्यों हुआ जब हुआ कब हुआ ओ छोड़ो ये न सोचो ये क्या हुआ
Well, Banjan, this was not the end of it.
Yeah.
It was just the point where they realized that, oh no, don't have the lead. And that possibly, Biden might come back.
ऐ दिल चल पी कर झूमे इन गलियों में घूमे ऐ दिल चल पी कर झूमे इन गलियों में घूमे यहाँ तुझे खोना था बदनाम होना था हुआ
And of course, Baja, around this time, White House hosting these victory, and everybody, all the scrutineers were there in the White House eating hors d'oeuvres and sipping on champagne and toast and everything. And suddenly they see all these things are changing.
Yeah.
Senate race, part of it, if you look at it, Democrats were leading that time. At that time, not right now, Baja. At that time, now it's actually like a very tight tie between the Senate. So if at all, they require to have 50%, right? 51 seats in the Senate.
Yeah.
Right now, 48 seats are with Republicans. They retained all the seats they were contesting.
Yes,
right?
Banujan.
Only one they flipped, right? One seat got flipped.
Yes, Tom Cotton retained his seat. Bill Haggerty retained his seat.
No, but somebody flipped. I know one Senate seat.
The one Hickenlooper flipped, but
To
then,
Republican.
Hickenlooper, no, it was a Democratic seat,
Yeah.
but the one seat that flipped, the Republicans got a seat where Senator was it Doug Jones, right?
Yeah, one of those Democrats who are now performing very well. In the,
Doug Jones' seat went to. No, it wasn't Doug Jones. It was they had their hopes pinned on the governor, Steve Bullock, against Steve Daines, and that particular was lost, and even the Tommy Tuberville versus Doug Jones. Doug Jones was an incumbent Democratic senator, and he lost his seat.
he lost his seat.
He lost his seat, Bandujan, in Alabama. It flipped, actually. It was a flipped seat to the Republican Party. And then...
I thought Democrats flipped the Senate, right? Didn't they? At that time, yesterday.
No, I don't. Not at that time. They had flipped before itself. Hickenlooper had already come in.
So, but all the Democrats who already were senators actually had kept their seats. That was there, and actually that was coming out, and we were seeing a huge lead of Democrats in the Senate.
Yeah.
As opposed to the Republicans.
Right.
So there was a lot of hope for Republicans anyway. So Trumpsters actually were, if not this, okay, if not Trump, we at least have the Senate in our hands.
Yeah.
So GOP was very confident about the Senate being in their hands, and also the House.
Yeah.
Now House part of it, as I told you, there was that lady, what's her name, Green. Miss Green, who became the congressional thing,
Yeah.
right? That lady, the QAnon lady, she actually got the seat. That was a win for them. So at this time,
there was also what was the sad part where the Democrats started to feel like, oh my God, again, I'm telling you, it's been like up, down, up, down. They really had their hopes pinned on the governor of Montana, Steve Bullock, to take the Senate seat there.
But
and he
didn't.
went against Steve Daines, and that was supposedly the highest. Steve Daines put all of his own money into this particular campaign, spent like, I don't know how many millions of his own money, and in fact it was so bad apparently, AltuPhaltu, that there was no airtime more left to buy.
what?
Yeah, that
we
much
had
airtime.
airtime here to buy.
Yeah, over there in Montana. So so that particular place, Banjan, Steve Bullock lost. So the Democrats again, ऐसे झुक गया हौसला. Literally like, oh my God, our hopes of gaining control of the Senate
But
is
here's where
vanishing.
Democrats actually excel this time, this election.
Yeah.
They had a very good PR person.
yeah.
That's when they actually brought out the Biden out.
They brought Biden up.
Yeah, for a speech to talk to supporters.
Yes, but
And hello. Trump also spoke.
yeah, but later, much later. It was like literally people were like, Trump was tweeting, "Oh, we are winning big," in capital letters.
Yeah, that was actually trying to incite his people. He is a very, very smart guy. He was trying to get his people all riled up.
Yeah.
Right, that we're winning, so make them feel like as though he has all data in his hands and everything. But actually, he
Right.
didn't have any data in his hands. But there was disillusion in the Democratic camp. That's when.
Dissolution. What? Dissolution. Oh, yeah. You were saying that things, is it?
Yeah.
They were losing hope. huh?
Losing hope. That's when Biden came out, right?
Yeah.
Like the apostle.
yes.
And then he came and said some words. Faltu totally bought it.
What Faltu Rani totally bought it. I think he spoke like the true
Whatever. He sold
president.
you. He totally sold
there
you.
was no
Anybody comparison president to Trump is the president Faltu.
No, I'll tell you, both of them have their own. They're polar opposites, I think, to an extent.
No, both of them are old, on the same age group.
Yeah.
Biden is older than him. That's it.
Yeah.
Probably Biden's got wisdom and that guy didn't get anything.
In Biden's case, he just said it's not over till every vote is counted.
Yeah.
And when every vote is counted, we have a feeling are on the track to a victory.
But one thing is that Biden said, keep the faith.
He said, keep the faith, Bandajan. He said, no matter what, yes, Florida, we were not counting on it. It was a surprise. Texas, we don't know, but, we're sure that we've done our work in what do you call, in Pennsylvania. And then he said, keep the faith. Because he said, tu na jane aas-paas hai kuda. He didn't say that. We're at
He said it might be unclear where you're going, but sometimes just keep going. It helps.
Yes.
There's a very nice country song, Father. It says that when you're going through hell, keep on going.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because eventually you'll come out of it.
Yeah.
तेरे साथी मेरे कदमों के हैं निशान तू ना जाने आस पास है खुदा 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 तू ना जाने आस पास है खुदा
Well, this tweet is very important because this is when actually people kind of started seeing, the Biden in a different light totally. And then afterwards, after Biden's speech comes Trump's. More about that in a few minutes with Jan.
चला रे हाथ की लकीर को मोड़ता मरोड़ता है हौसला रे तो खुद तेरे ख्वाबों के रंग में तू अपने जहां को भी रंग दे कि चलता हूँ मैं तेरे संग में हो शाम भी तो क्या जब होगा अंधेरा तब पाएगा दर मेरा उस दर पे फिर होगी तेरी सुबह तू न जाने आस पास है खुदा तू न जाने आस पास है खुदा तू न जाने आस पास है खुदा तू जाने आस पास है खुदा मिट जाए सबके निशान बस सांस एक वो मिटता नहीं है, मान लेगा हर मुश्किल को मई मेरी है। हो हम सफर न तेरा जब भी तू हो जहाँ रहूंगा मैं वहीं, तुझसे कभी न एक पल भी मैं जुदा। तू न जाने आस पास है खुदा, तू न जाने आस पास है खुदा।
Well, Banjan, I'll tell you what, lose hope and faith in the democracy, Banjan. Yes, it might be difficult right now, but understand one thing, the whole world is looking at us right now. And that's something hoping that, people would understand. Faltu ne kya kar rahe, I can hear everything in the background, what's happening on there. Well, Banjan, the thing is, I was going to tell you one thing, why I say the whole world is watching. Because I think US elections is a big deal across the world.
Huh.
Because US is one of the oldest democracies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but oldest democracy. I'm not kidding. Banjan. India might be the largest, but the US is the oldest democracy. So pretty much most of the constitution written by other democratic countries are based upon what happens over here in the US.
Huh.
And they do have their own flavor. Other countries have different flavors. But understand that US is such a big impact on the world. They are allies in many countries.
Right.
And countries take reference to what happens here in the US.
Yeah.
And very sad part for me, what I felt very sad was, I was just looking at the voting turnouts and everything, and all the votes, what were going on. But okay, electoral votes apart, people picking Trump over everything else. I just felt like, American population is almost like 300 million.
Yeah.
Close to 100 million guys, Branjan, 70 to 80 million folks.
Huh.
Choosing Trump as the leader. A man who's...
It's not 80 million folks, AltuPhaltu.
70 million,
I don't
please.
know where you got the wrong number. That's a wrong number.
What do you mean, where you got
It's
the number?
because the maximum number of people now have voted for Biden. That is only 69.5 million.
Okay, how about Trump then?
We don't know. It's not 80 million for sure.
Yeah.
It is not. Then if that many people have voted for Trump, then Trump should be leading.
Trump should be leading. Like,
I don't-
around that time, people are supporting him. No, if
No,
you just look
it's-
at all the
it's
states who have actually come and said this is the thing, right? Close to 170 million, whatever it is. But
No.
Jambi, Faltwani was a person of facts and figures. She's going to Google right now and tell me what to. Please give a number of people who voted for Trump, please. We'll wait, but because she's frantically Googling because, she's a content streak. She's got to say
Yes,
something
yes,
against
but
whatever
yeah.
I say. Faltwani, please tell me how many people
Yeah,
have
how
voted
many
for Trump?
people who have voted so far?
For Trump, please tell us. I want to know some data, please.
Wait, please.
Huh? 2016, we want 2020.
In 2020.
Huh.
So, as of now, the maximum number of people have cast their ballot for Joe Biden, and that is 69.8 million people.
Okay, so how many people have voted for Trump?
I don't know.
But I'm asking you, please find out.
Okay.
That's what your homework is at the Fatani. Please find out how many people have voted for Trump. So, Balajan, you can see over here itself, like internal, so much of conflict. What I'm trying to tell you is our nation has so much of conflict. We are divided, literally divided on party lines. If you look at the map, it's red, white, and blue. But where's the white? We only have red and white, red and blue only. No white, no peace anywhere. Everybody is fighting against each other, with each other. Even Faltwani is in the mode of fighting right now. She's like totally blue, right, Faltwani? Oh, she's totally now engrossed. You know what you do is I can search for the data here, Faltwani.
What, Altu Baba? You're
Yeah.
giving a deliberate pause, huh?
Not really,
Because you want to do like what do you call drama kind of thing, and that's what we're doing today on the PAMPAM show. For those of you who are wondering ki kya ho raha hai, let's tell you that it is supposed to be.
Yeah. The thing is, people are getting very touchy, but the election is when where people
Oh
are
my
getting touchy.
God!
And that's what happens with Faltwani became touchy right now because I gave one data which she didn't like it. But she's very professional. Professional is when you actually go research and learn about the facts and talk about those facts. And yes, so whether it is 70 million or whatever it is, the majority of people actually are voting for Trump, and that's what actually I said. Like it's how much of the way it is. People are preferring to have him as president.
Majority of people are voting
Not majority.
for Trump. That's what you're saying.
Fine.
Is that what you're saying?
A huge population of people are voting for Trump. Happy with that thing?
Oh.
See, don't get stuck up with semantics, Faltwani. I'm talking about the very concept of why the bigotry is still in there in our system. You don't understand the racism is still current is coming out right now.
I'm not doing that.
That's what I'm talking.
I
You are
was just-
disputing something which is not irrelevant, which is semantics and numbers. Numbers are over, that doesn't make any kind of sense anyways. But the point is, you must have a discussion about this particular thing which happened in America. I need to talk about this. That's very important. The thing is, people actually get very emotional on part of it. All I tell people is stay calm. Don't worry about it. People are going to be, becoming touchy. It's fine. They just need to practice, take a deep breath and go, okay, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Tomorrow morning, again, the sun is going to come up. We all are going to be dealing with whatever we got to deal with. Anyways, our problems are not going to go away. Our problems are going to stay anyways for a common man. But anyway, politically, whatever happens there is what we're talking about today. And yesterday, Balanjan, there was a point where, Trump also got a push. He got a talk. And Faltu, you want to share the bundles what happened in Trump's speech?
So, well, during his speech, we know what he came out and said, Punjab. People thought that he's going to come out and reassure his supporters and his base of supporters that, okay, you know what? Some people were still expecting him to act presidential and say that, we're going to wait for votes to come in. We don't want to make any decisions. We don't want to be able to, call this election or whatever. It's not over. They would say all that. But he came out and he said that they're doing great. Thank you. Thank you. And somebody said, I love you. I was watching this live, and then he says, thank you. We're doing great. And thank you for all your support. We have won. Some megalomaniacs think that just because they say that they want whatever they're saying is right, but it's like, supposed to be one very big statement, and he's using that particular podium. He actually said that. And then more than half the states have not come in. The votes haven't come in from there. And then he says, we have won. And then there is a sad group of people who have been trying to disenfranchise one of you. So many majority of voters who voted for him, that they're trying to disenfranchise them. And he said that, but the voting counts have to stop.
Is that the time when he said that all that is fraud? Something even.
Yeah.
I know that he actually called somebody some democratic system. He said that when there was no evidence of fraud anywhere, election mein koi fraud nahi tha. Abhi tak nobody has found out any kind of a loophole or a fraud in the whole election system. So he actually came out and said. When was that he said that? Was it in the morning? Was it one of the tweets or was it the speech? When was it?
Well, he at that point during his speech, and this is like I think in the morning, and he's really ticked because he came out and gave the speech right after, about an hour after Joe Biden did, and he said he was going to come and talk earlier, but he wanted to see because he was winning, and then this starts happening, and he says this needs to stop. Counting needs to stop. You know why, Bandhajan?
Why?
At that particular point in time, the mail-in ballots were going to be counted.
Oh.
And if you actually go and look at some of the analyst reports, the mail-in ballots were coming in from precinct or from counties and districts that had the highest number of African American voters, and almost every single mail-in ballot was a Democratic ballot because of the fact that the Biden campaign and the Democratic Party did a huge push on early mail-in balloting. And in many states, the rules are made by local district officials. वहाँ पे वो count ही नहीं करते हैं till after, some even after election day, because of the fact that these mail-in ballots, if people send in the ballot even as early as the day of the election, as long as it's post कि उन्होंने उस दिन post किया है, give 3 days for it to come in and they count the vote after that. So Trump wanted that to stop because if he loses Pennsylvania, whoa, 20 electoral votes gone right there, right? So that's why he's contesting. It's a very hot contest right now over there. And then he said that we're going to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, this is a country of law and order, and they are going to decide who the president of this country is going to be. And it was just an absolute travesty, according to every news channel.
In the framing of our president, which is our supreme leader, current president, I tell you, he actually has a certain framework. He thinks in like a war, right? He's like, activating his militia, his personal army. He's getting the White House barricaded with fence to keep people away because he knows that when he actually gets the losing results, he's going to wait for the court to come and he's going to influence the court to give him the presidency back, right? We knew he's not going to leave the presidency, correct? There's one song which actually talks totally about his sentiment, Faltu.
Yeah, and even at that time, it was a war cry. He said, we're going to fight. And he basically told people that he is not going to let up, that this is a fraud on the people and they're going to take it.
I have total disregard to the whole democratic system. I am dictating myself.
He didn't say that, Bandujan. his demeanor was that shocked everybody, but some people didn't get shocked, like the Washington Post, Ron Suskin, and these people who've been predicting that take his word seriously because it's a legal strategy, a political strategy, where he's going to build it up that even if he lost fair and square, he's going to claim that it was by cheating, by fraud.
Yeah, sore losers.
जब से पहना है मैंने ये इश्क सहरा खली बली हो गया है दिल दुनिया से मेरा खली बली हो गया है दिल खली बली हो गया है दिल दुनिया से मेरा खली बली हो गया है दिल जब से पहना है मैंने ये इश्क सहरा खली बली हो गया है दिल दुनिया से मेरा खली बली हो गया है दिल
Dabble Jan definitely is a war cry telling people to get excited about the whole thing. Yes, you know, we're gonna come back. Red wave will happen. Well, if you look at the red wave, it has happened already. It's just the blue is also kind of fight.
तवार दिल के सब टूट से गए नीलों वाले जुगन रूठ रातों से गए तार बार दिल के सब टूट से गए नीलों वाले जुगन रूठ रातों से गए तार बार दिल के सब टूट से गए नीलों वाले जुगन रातों से गए लग सा गया है ख्वाबों का आंखों में डेरा खली बली हो गया है दिल दुनिया से मेरा खली बली हो गया है दिल खली बली हो गया दुनिया से मेरा खली बली हो गया है दिल
And if you're wondering what's happening right now, is the ticker moving? No, it hasn't. Nobody has come up and said, okay, this is what's going to happen. They were supposed to have actually called Nevada already, but not yet. Badujan, it's still a question mark. Are we going to still have a nail-biting experience? I don't know. I was told that by Wednesday this evening, everybody's going to declare and it's going to be confirmed. I don't know how far it's true. Counting is still going on though.
तेरे जैसे आसमां भी तेरे आगे आगे झुक गए और लूं कलमा तेरी चाहत का कहता है यही का मज़हब दिल पे लगा है अब मेरे मेरा खली बली हो गया है दुनिया से मेरा खली बली हो गया है खली बली हो गया है दिल दुनिया से मेरा खली बली हो गया है दिल
Alright, John, then of course I went. I didn't want to deal with the elections part of it. But anyway, by that time I think we established the fact that Biden already was in lead, right, Faltwani?
Well, yes and no, because there was people were like on the downer with what Trump's king said, Bandujan. You had leading political analysts, and you had like people who were, a report from editors and reporters from Washington Post, New York Times, and other reporters from, political analysts from Associated Press, who started to really, get irked and worried about the fact that this is headed towards a constitutional crisis, because
Whoa.
if this president and according to those of you who don't know Ron Suskin, it's not that I'm trying to make him popular, but he is already a very big figure. He is one of the reporters who's been working with several senior Trump administration officials for over the past, who are and also former people who have quit, also fired by Trump, over the past 4 years of his presidency and a little before his presidency, from the time he got elected. And he actually shared, even before Trump came out and said this, he said this is what he's going to do. He said this is going to be his strategy, because it's literally like somebody was saying, one of the news anchors was saying, it's like setting the house on fire and leaving out the back door. You know, the idea is to get people riled up and incited over the fact that, oh, there is fraud, there's this, that. When there's no evidence of there is no evidence of any form of cheating whatsoever, and this man claims that he lost because of the fraud and the cheating.
That was Trump.
Yeah. So it kind of, it gives you an impetus, right? People start wondering, oh, is it because he's actually losing? Whereas he was not. He had a lot of, he claimed that a lot of states were, Arizona is his, so is Georgia, so is this, so is that. A lot of his states are, Pennsylvania is his. And he kept on saying that he was winning in all these states, whereas even in fact the counting was still underway and barely 26% vote had come in. And they'd not even called anything. And in fact, what happened was the fact that he set the stage for a legal battle, and then Ron Susskind actually called it out, and he said, one of the political analysts said, oh, you know what, he's all talk. He would have just come and he would have said this, and people don't need to take it seriously, don't worry about it, right? At that time, Ron said, and then there was another Capehart, what's his name? Capehart, I think. David Capehart came out and said, don't underestimate that, because this is a strategy that is being planned for a while now. So at this point, people are like, oh, we need to rally together. What happens in this happens, there'll be endless legal fights. America will go into almost like a civil war kind of situation where we don't have a defined president, and it's going to be in that endless, it's going to be a constitutional crisis.
Hey, but there is a law or statute in terms of, what happens in this kind of crisis also. Yeah, there is a little bit of thing what happens, takes power afterwards.
Who takes power?
Yeah, the thing, there's they decide as to who's going to be, so Supreme Court actually takes the power. I don't know what more details about what exactly happens, but there is law around it as to what happens when it's kind of it's like a coup, it's like a political coup.
It is.
Like what happens with, for instance, but let me give you an idea. So places like Russia, Putin, he brought that situation in, so that's why he's forever the president there. Same thing with many other places like Maduro and everybody else, right? They are the people who are...
Yeah, they're autocrats. Even Recep Tayyip Erdogan, and even Xi Jinping. They have endless number of terms. Change the whole thing. They have rubber stamp governments. Somebody opposes them. Either that person is removed from office or they disappear. And that's what happens. And that's where we are headed in this particular case as well. Because if just a week of confirming Amy Coney Barrett, his fourth Supreme Court conservative nominee, into pushing her into the Supreme Court. At that time, it was a strategy planned all along that he knew that he's going to this election. And this is what is going to, that they are going to take it to the Supreme Court regardless, and then that his puppet justices will actually turn around and hand the election back to him. Now, with the Democrats not really regaining control of the Senate, there are about 7, I don't know if they've been called yet, but are really... even in Georgia, everything hasn't come in yet. One race has gone into a runoff in Georgia. John Cornyn actually won over MJ Hager, and I think a few other races in Georgia. All the Republicans are holding on to their respective Senate seats. So now...
I think North Carolina is still up over there. It's still not done. Tom Tillis and Cal Cunningham, they're not actually... it's not decided as yet.
Now they're tied evenly, Bandujan. There's about 4 more seats, 4 more races that need to be called. Now there are 48 Republicans and 48 Democrats in the Senate right now. So the Republicans flipped 1 seat, which I told you about, which was the Doug Jones seat that they flipped. And the Democrats supposedly flipped 2 seats. So 1 net gain. I'm trying to see who was that. Mark Kelly won. He's been called as a winner. He won the Senate seat in Arizona, and what was that? It was a special election. He beat Republican Senator Martha McSally, and he won with 52.3% of the vote. So right now, things are like, it was like. Is it going to be Trump? Is it going to be Biden? Is America going to go to a constitutional crisis or not? At that point, even Judy Woodruff was too tired.
That's true. Yeah, she was yawning us about.
Oh, she was, actually, it was, I don't know if it's me, but what I felt was when I was watching that particular, and the Associated Press was not willing to call any race at that point. They've been extremely conservative because pollsters have gone terribly wrong.
No, but they can't actually go call race if it's so close, right? They have 1% as the margin of error, so they don't want to go call race it's percent. And actually, it was that way. Many places there was just 1% difference between the two of them.
Yeah, and many votes still needed to come in, and a lot of the mail-in ballot votes were the ones that were pending.
Yeah.
And everybody knew that you cannot call the race because if you don't count the ballots, and the mail-in ballots were largely in Democratic holes.
Yeah, by the way, this time mail-in ballots actually were 100 million mail-in ballots came in. 100 million mail-in ballots came in. Actually, almost one of the first particular year, the election history is the fact that I think we have the biggest turnout of voters this time. Close to 150 million. That's almost like a 2/3 increase of what it was last.
Yeah, and you wanted the number of people that actually voted. Biden has broken the record previously set by any president in the United States. President Barack Obama had received 69.5 million votes in 2008 when he won re-election. Biden has broken that record. Sorry, not re-election, when he was elected to office. Biden broke that record. He has already gotten 71 million votes so far.
Yay! So remaining 39 million is what Trump, is it?
Trump has, with both candidates, so altogether 159.8 million Americans are voting. And of course, this is according to an NBC poll. And the highest turnout rate among eligible voters since 1900. And then Trump got 68.1 million votes, but the 71 million votes are what Biden has got so far.
Yeah, 68.9 pretty much will be, I would
68.1.
Yeah, that's a good accurate number actually. Good. So Banjan, 68.9 people.
68.1.
68.1 million people voted for Trump.
Yeah.
That is what is worrisome, Patrani. Very close to 70%.
Well, what is worrisome is the Republican Party has appealed to the Democrats. Neither has the Democratic Party appealed to the Republican base or the Trumpian base. So there was a way that they explained how this is working, Manajan. For those of you who like the political banter, the way it was explained was Trump has done a phenomenal job of branding himself. And you don't see anybody I'm a JFK t-shirt. I'm a Barack Obama t-shirt. I'm a Obama. A lot of
Obama.
yeah, Obama. You know what I mean? Like you don't see that. Even though because America came first. Then.
Yeah.
In this case, what Ron was alluding to was the kind of branding that Trump has done for him.
Yeah.
And he talks about how people are like wearing Trump faces, Trump outfits, Trump t-shirts. I mean, it's like. People are
He's
crazy.
a businessman. He knows how to make money out of poor people.
Yeah, and the other main thing that they were talking about was how he's appealing to the security in that base of people that America is changing. The landscape in America is changing. So the good thing that came out of this election is the huge voter turnout, Banjan. I think that is incredible. Just like how Narendra Modi ji was able to turn out that many voters in India, right? They had a record turnout of people who showed up at the polls. Even in this particular election, it has been a record turnout of people who have voted. And the maximum, they've had so many people who have gotten young people who have voted this election, even the old people who were the seniors, according to AARP, people said, oh, Trump has that senior vote. Not really. Biden took that vote too.
Yeah, Biden is more senior than him.
No, but they voted against Hillary in 2016 election.
Yeah, that's because she was a lady.
Yeah.
Hey,
true.
I'll tell you what.
Unfortunate,
Father,
but
you
yes.
gotta agree with what I have to say. The reason I'm telling you here
That's
is because,
true.
see, if you are
That's
siding
true.
with Trump, Father, I'll tell you one thing.
I'm not siding with Trump.
No, I'm telling you, if people are siding with Trump,
Yeah.
here's what you should know about the people siding with Trump.
Yeah.
They are actually saying, no, I'm here for his policies. No, his policies are driven by his values.
Yes.
And values are something which I'm against.
Yeah.
Right? Bigotry,
Misogyny.
and also in terms of
Racism.
Now, these are things which I really despise, and it's not something which strikes with my values.
Yeah.
So imagine like around the 70, close 70 million.
No, 68.
Close to 68.
No,
okay.
Altuba, that's
Okay,
the-
you want numbers, that's also not accurate actually. 6.1 million. Okay,
Yes.
fine. Happy with that?
Yes.
68.1 million. This is like 68.1 or 0001? Is how is it?
Let me tell
I
you.
want the exact numbers, please.
Let me make it very clear. 68,100,000. There's a big difference.
Is there 68,100,000 more numbers there? Because if you're going to be specific about numbers, you're
No,
going to
it
be
is 68,100,000.
Round figure?
Yeah, it's been rounded.
It's a
yeah.
round figure? No. I
I
don't
don't
know rounding.
know.
No, it
I
should not
don't
be
know.
round. If you're rounding,
I'm
you
not
round.
sitting there counting every vote.
But the
Altu,
point
stop.
is, Fatori, the point is whether you talk about this, get into semantics of it, or the fact there's a huge number of people out there who still have those values in their mind, and that's what we have to address. It requires discussion, that requires open forums, talk about these things, realize what we're talking about, why we need to do this. And for instance, Fatori, we're running an organization called Pragna. And Pragna actually depends heavily on people to be able to understand this, have empathy.
Correct.
And that group lacks it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
If you have a philosophy like, oh, I'm better than somebody else, that's prejudice right there.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And that's what you want to challenge. But the point over here is, at this point, it became as heated as what it got in the studio here, Baljan. People actually, analysts, like breaking the head out. But the good thing I liked about the fact was, some of the analysts were sane. They were really scholastic. They were actually talking about why it is a problem for America and not for the parties that we are so divided.
Yes. So here's what happened, Altu Baba. At that point, right? I was telling you about this. I'm a lady. I was watching that, and I don't know if you felt this, Banjan. Sometimes you start feeling your heart racing, or you get this sick feeling in the pit of your stomach. It's almost like the same kind of feeling that all the ladies, so Amna Nawaz and Judy Woodruff and all these people were all are female anchors. Okay, and all of them are there, and you can see their. That's the beauty about women sometimes, where there's, you can see that everybody's shaken by the speech. And people are like, and they have to be transparent. So they're trying to say, so Judy was asking again and again, but is there any that there has been any fraud? Has there been any cheating?
Why do you say women? This is again.
Wait. Talking the women part of it, because you could see their voices, like. Her voice started to tremble to an extent, and people are really shaken, right, by what was said.
Yeah.
So is our country a country? Imagine if you've grown and you have voted in the elections, you have held the American values of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness really close to your heart, and you're a person who believes in freedom of choice to choose your partner, the freedom to pursue enterprise, whatever you want to do, and then you see that is at stake in this election. It does shake you up, right? So that was the sentiment. At that point, there's this analyst who came. She came in and she said, you know what, I'm going to be a little ray of sun here. And she said, the election officials at Georgia, the election officials at Arizona, election officials at all the other states, in Pennsylvania, everywhere. Apparently, she did extensive interviewing with these people. All of them were prepared. And they said they knew that he's going to do this. And they said, but there's nothing to worry at the state level, because it's also controlled. This is the United States of America. So the states also control what happens. Governors and the state senators and the state legislatures all decide that we have to stand up for American democracy. You can affect it. She said that they were prepared and they are not going to stop counting. They're going to continue. Because the question came that Michigan, it has to stop counting. Pennsylvania has to. Though, what happened was they, in one particular rural office, they stopped and they said, "We're done. We'll come tomorrow morning and we'll count the votes. We're not going to be able to determine the president anyway." So they left. So Trump says that's the right thing to do. Nobody should count anymore. So that's what happened. So people actually at that point, it was hanging in the balance.
But I'll tell you what, Faltwani, Trump's attitude.
Yeah.
I have a beautiful song which will describe that.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Bollywood song was totally, Trump is like a gunda, right? Like a bully, right? So, Yeah. This is actually a wonderful song to describe what his reaction was for all those things.
Yeah. And the next morning, this is what he said.
जो भी हमसे पंगा ले हम ना छोड़े तोड़े फोड़े जो भी हमसे पंगा ले कॉलर निकाल के जींस फटी डाल के दुनिया को मांग के अपने रूमाल से हम तो चले झूमते दाएं बाएं घूमते हे मस्ती बुलोन रे रोकेगा कौन रे अरे मस्ती बुलोन रे रोकेगा कौन रे हम ना छोड़े तोड़े फोड़े जो भी हमसे पंगा ले
Exactly, Bajja. This is one sentiment he came up in the morning. I think this was this an early morning tweet, Fatwadi?
No, this was following continuously. He said, "Oh, we're going to," and he's already mounted legal challenges, Banjan, to stop counting in Michigan. But Michigan declared for Joe Biden, its state. Joe Biden won Michigan, and even Arizona has now been called for Joe Biden.
Yeah, a long time ago.
No.
In the later part of the afternoon, they actually
No,
called
it's
it.
still I don't know.
At least Associated Press says it's being called.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Nevada is only one still not called for Biden, but they actually are leading towards Biden actually.
Yeah. So, Banjan, that's where it stands. So, Trump said, "Oh, we're going to file." Wisconsin also, he's filed a lawsuit now. But this is their attitude. Hum na chode, tode, fode.
मस्ती बुलोन रे रोकेगा कौन रे मस्ती बुलोन रे रोकेगा कौन
Okay, now corner, exactly.
बावड़ी पूछ अबे ढोले रे गिटार बजा ले जैक्सन की औलाद रे पीपड़ी ले फूक ले हवानी भर्री के अंदर रे ऑर्केस्ट्रा बजा
अपनी तो है सीधी सादी सी फिलॉसफी खाते पीते मौज में कटे ये जिंदगी दिल रहे खुशी के ही नशे में चकराया हो हम तो चीज है कमाल की पहचान लो यार जागे हुस्न वालों से ये जान लो हम नहीं तो लड़कियों का दिल है धड़काया अपने चर्चे अखबार में छपते रहते हैं प्यार में इश्क हम तो करते हैं अपने हिसाब से हम पे यकीन ना हो तो पूछ लो जनाब से ओ हम तो चले झूमते दाएं बाएं घूमते मस्ती बुलोन रे रोकेगा कौन रे हम ना छोड़े तोड़े फोड़े जो भी हमसे पंगा
Yeah, Bajjan, ये था उसका sentiment in the morning, but क्या हुआ बाद में Bajjan, अभी तो अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ. But the point is, this is actually coming to a good ending right now. As of now.
Yeah, as
Part
of
2 आएगा बाद में. What happened today, we'll probably an account for you guys in the morning. Good morning, be a problem. However, if the saga goes on, there actually is a civil war coming up and everything. Don't worry, we'll try to be on air for sure. Luckily, Facebook and all not affected so far, so we'll hopefully have all those things going on.
Yeah. In एक चीज बताना है Altu Baba, in Arizona, right? Right now, the Hispanics actually shifted the whole this thing of power towards Joe.
Yeah.
63% of the
I
Hispanics.
thought they already were counted. Arizona already was called by a
No,
professor.
it's-
But we have a bandhu who's called right now. Want to
Okay.
talk to them?
Okay. नमस्कार, आपका हार्दिक स्वागत है PAMPAM में. कौन है जी?
Hello.
Hello, PAMPAM. Hello, AltuPhaltu. I'm Dr. Ravi doing good.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. How are you doing? कैसे हैं सर? बहुत दिनों के बाद आपकी आवाज़ सुनने को मिला हमें.
ठीक ठाक मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ आप लोग अच्छे होंगे हीरियत होंगे और बहुत खुश हैं तो उम्मीद करता हूँ आप इस तरह खुश रहें कि आपने चलाया है
हाँ.
तो मेरा ख्याल ट्रम्प के बिहार से लाया ना तो मैं रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ आप जो बाइडेन के बिहार से एक गाना चलाओ
हाँ, बताओ.
कर रहे हैं सर, कर रहे हैं.
अभी आएगा.
वो गाना चलाओ गोली मार दे शोर करता है.
Well, actually, we have a song coming. Biden के song करके हम लोग जाएंगे. Don't worry. But thank you so much for calling us, Balashika sir.
Thank you so much. आशा करते हैं आपको ऐसा. Thank you.
चला रहे तो अच्छा रहेगा.
I'll try to line that up, but I have some of the song lined up today. But definitely कल लगाऊंगा आपके लिए. ठीक है?
चलो ठीक है.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Khan sir. Thank you, Khan sir. Bye bye. And of course, Bachchan, yes, I hope you enjoyed the presentation as much as we enjoyed presenting it to you guys, because hame to yaar, everything looks like a Bollywood movie for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Faltu, you want to tell what's going to be the song?
So the Biden camp, Biden actually came out and said, we are not declaring victory, but looks like we're on the path to it. He's still being humble, and he's saying every vote needs to be counted. And he said, I told you there's nothing to worry about. And he said, what sets us, we are much stronger in
he
what
said,
we are.
We are Sikandars.
Yeah, he said हारी बाजी को जीतना हमें आता है, and we are not enemies.
Yeah.
We are not opposing camps, are not enemies. That's what he said, Banajan, and I loved what he said. It was a very unifying message that he sent. And what unites us is much stronger than what is dividing us.
Correct.
So, with this particular Gana, we'll tell you the saga, the Bollywoodish saga of election 2020 so far.
Yeah.
From the presidential perspective, presidential race perspective. कल पता नहीं क्या होगा.
देखा जाएगा.
हाँ. फिर मिलेंगे इंशाल्लाह इंशा गणेश कल यहाँ पे गुड मॉर्निंग डे पे. गुड नाइट.
शब्बा खैर.
एंड अब प्यार भरा.
जो सब करते हैं यारो वो क्यों हम तुम करें, यूं ही कसरत करते करते काहे को हम मरे, घर वालों से टीचर से भला हम क्यों डरे, यहाँ के हम सिकंदर चाहे तो रख ले सबको अपनी जेब के अंदर, हर हमसे बच के रहना मेरी जान.
नहीं समझे हैं वो हमें
तो क्या जाता है हमारी बाजी को जीतना हमें आता है.
मजा आ रहा है ना? Music with the Jan for the best in entertainment and the best in music and the hottest tracks ever. You can get it on Radio D Hottie. For more information, go to mediamahima.com.